Let us start with trend lines. Double click on order date, double click on sales, and then we convert this into a line. This is an important topic, and there is also a lot of nuance when it comes to working with this. Let us look at all these options. You notice that the year currently is coming as a green pill, and this is showing us the year trend line. If I click on the plus sign, that expands this into a quarter, and then into a month, and then finally into a week and a day. You notice the minus button goes away, but we can at any point right click and then select a year from here. What might seem a little confusing is that on a right click, you notice there are two sets of year, quarter, month, day, week date available. The difference being, if I choose the year from the top pane, this pill becomes blue, which means that when I click on the plus sign, it is breaking every year into a different pane. Similarly, when I click on the plus sign once again, it breaks every month into a different pane. If I immediately convert this into a quarter, you notice it is still breaking it into a different piece. So now we are mixing up the blue and the green pills. Let's do that once again. If I simply have my quarter, which I converted into a quarter in the bottom pane, this gives us a continuous quarter. So we're now able to see all the individual quarters for all the years. But if I choose the quarter here, it simply shows us the summation of all the quarters for all the years. In what case would this be helpful? Maybe you want to do some data normalization and you want to see on an average which quarter for the last 4 years has been doing the worst or the best. In this case, rather than seeing the cumulative sales, we can probably right click and want to see the measure as an average. So now you notice that quarter 2 on an average has been doing the worst for the organization. If I convert this into the quarter from the second pane, then it shows me all the quarters for all the years. Okay, let us also drag sales into rows and then also convert this back into a sum. Now you notice we can compare the sales and the profit. If I right click on the profit pill, we can say dual axis, and this is great because it allows us to compare the sales and the profit on one common chart. Do be aware that the y-axis, which is the primary and the secondary y-axis, might not match with each other most of the time. So you will have to right click and then say synchronize axis. This gives us a good perspective. Of how when the sales is moving up or down, the profit amount is also changing. For example, if I convert this into average and change the profit as well into an average, this gives us a good idea of how the sales movement is impacting the profit. Let us remove profit once. We have the average sales amount. If I drag shipping mode into color, then we're able to see different trend lines for all the shipping modes. If we also drag sales into size, we will notice that the thickness of the line also changes. And again, if we choose our segment and put it in columns, then we're able to see 3 different sets of trend lines, which gives us a lot of data at the same time. And if we put shipping mode into rows, then we're able to see spark lines like these. As you can see, with a few clicks here and there is a lot of customizability that is available on trend lines. Also on the path, there are more options to choose the different types of line types. So we have a jump, we have a regular linear line, and we also have a stepped line, depending on the type of analysis that you want to do.